Dang it. Oh. Hi, this is the back of my truck. Back here I haul firewood, quad, dirt bikes, you know, stuff that fits in the bed. Sometimes I haul long stuff, like rolls of carpet, extension ladders, 14-foot lumber, things that go way past the tailgate. So I've seen before you can get the hitch tailgate extensions. They range between 60 and 250 bucks online. I got some spare metal, I got some spare time, and I got a welder. So let's make one. Let's get dusty. So as my could-be good buddy Ryan Crahan would say, let's talk the game plan. So what we're gonna do is I have some 2-inch square tubing. That slides directly into the back of your hitch without a problem. We'll drill a 3/4 inch hole here for the hitch pin to go through. And then we're gonna take and we're gonna do a 22.5 degree miter on this side, 22.5 degree miter on this side, and this side. So it should bring it about this. And then we'll have another one that'll bring it up here like this. The reason I'm not doing just a straight 90 is I'm going to attempt to run trailer lights up through and in here. Now I figure if I do it this way, I'm gonna have a hard time sneaking that wire in there. So this will be hopefully a little bit easier. Then we'll run a T-bar across, probably about 40, maybe 48 inches. I want to do where it slides nice and in between the wheel wells of the truck. We'll do that, maybe some angled supports off of that. And I want to run some trailer lights on the back of this because of the fact that A, I've never seen another one with trailer lights, and B, when I've used one of these things in the past, people tend to get a little too close to you. So if I can extend my lights out, I'll have brake lights, turn signal lights, no reason they should be running into me. And then I'll also do some cool mounting points for straps and stuff like that. That's the game plan. Let's start cutting some steel. And then before I get the upright cut, I want to know that height. So what I want to do is drill the hitch pin in here and get this piece in, get the other little pieces tacked in so that I can see, because what's going to happen is when I put this in the back of the hitch, it's probably going to drop a little bit. So I want to know the exact right height I need instead of just kind of estimating. So that was why I'm doing it this way. This has one tack on it. I should be able to just easily pop it off, which I can. But now what I need to do is, this is the line of where it needs to be. I actually need to go, I need to go 2 inches below that because I'm gonna have that piece that's gonna cross on the top of it. So if I just cut it to here, I'm gonna be 2 inches too tall. 2 inches below that, cut this, and then I can actually weld that all up. So this is going to be how wide the thing is actually going to be. It's going to hang off the tailgate. I went 40 inches because it'll fit in between the wheel wells, and because then if I'm ever hauling like drywall or something, it'll be supported all the way across. I didn't want to go wider because then it's kind of a pain to get it inside the truck. This way it's just easier. So here's my center. What I'm going to do is, obviously it'll end up sitting like this. I cut a couple of angled supports. I don't know how necessary these are, but I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea. I got a couple supports there, but again, because I want to run the wires up and through the body of this thing, I'm going to drill a big 1 3/4 inch hole right here that the next tube will drop over, and then hopefully I can fish my wires through that. So I just did a test and I tried to feed the wire up through into the body and into this hole. I don't think that's going to work out very well. So what I'm going to do is I have this steel cable. I'm going to run 2 pieces of steel cable down and through. And then that way, when this thing's all painted and ready for wiring, I should be able to just fish it all through with that steel cable. I got to use a steel cable because I'm afraid if I went with anything else, I'm afraid that it would actually burn inside when I weld. So that's why we're going to do it this way. I'm deburring this hole right now because unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get a grommet on it. Preferably I could, but I won't be able to. So I'm trying to make sure that's smooth as possible. Feed the cables in, get this thing welded up. So we are tacked on right here, but I want to make sure that we're square to the truck and the hitch and everything. I should be because I use the fixture table, but it's a Harbor Freight fixture table. 32 and 32 and a quarter. I'm a little off, but I'm fine with that. Not super great. Don't got to be super precise. I want to make sure that I had this the right level. All right, we're good. I can just finish welding everything up. And if you're thinking being a 1/4 inch off and 4 feet isn't good, it's not. But the fact that you can slide this back and forth inside that hitch tells me that I'll never get to where it needs to be. So it could be square, and then I could just be a little bit off. So it'll work. Don't judge me. For the lights, I went on Amazon. I got a little pack of some LED strip lights. They're supposed to work great for blinkers and brakes. So instead of mounting these just to the front of it, if I do that, I'm pretty positive at some point I'm going to smash them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mount them like this and then weld this underneath, so therefore it's got a little bit of protection, and then I'll just drill and probably bolt these right through into here. So now I got to cut this angle iron up, make it look pretty, and then weld that in, and then we'll be ready to start grinding and cleaning and painting. Here's how these things look all completed. I drilled and tapped these holes right here. Once this thing's finally installed, I'll trim these down. These wires stick out through the back. I'm gonna have to drill holes in the actual thing itself that these wires will feed up behind in. But yeah, just drill this hole, this hole, this hole, tap these guys, and yeah, now we can weld these onto the thing. So one thing I will say about when you use one of these racks in the back of your truck is, like, whenever you have like a roll of carpet and you have it in the center, it's kind of hard to tie down. So what I want to do is I want to take this steel ring, cut it in half into 2 C pieces, and put one right here on this side and one on this side. That way I can grab a strap, loop it from here around, and loop it onto here. And lastly, what I want to do is I want to add some more spots for strapping. So I have these D-rings that I have. I'm just going to drill the holes here that I can later on bolt, but I want to drill them so I can get paint in there. Do one on each side, drill these up, and then we start wire wheeling and flap disking, cleaning this metal up, get it ready for some primer and some paint. So most things on this channel get painted black. This, I didn't want to paint black because I want this to kind of stand out. I kind of wanted to go black so it would match the truck, but I thought this extending off the back would make sense to be a different color. So I went Thunder Cloud Gray. I got one coat on there. We're going to put another coat on because it's getting cold outside and I don't want it to be cold. Once this is all dried up, then we will run the wiring for the lights. I got the exhaust on. Let me open the door so I don't get hot. This just seems like a better idea. we'll give this thing a few hours to dry up, and then yeah, we'll start running some wiring and putting on some lights. So after all the pre-planning that I did for the wiring, the running the cable through, the drilling the holes, all that stuff, this is where it could all go horribly wrong for me. So I have to feed the cable back from here, back out through here. Got that one. I have to know which cable goes to which side, so I know which wire goes to which cable. Then I have to feed it through here, out here, without losing it. And if that works, I then have to back feed the wire up and out through these grommets there. Then I can tie them into those wires. The whole thing could go wrong, but I think I'll be all right. So we're gonna try to pull this first one through, and hopefully that, oh, look at it go. Hopefully that works. It came off. Oh no! Oh, but it's right in there. Okay, exactly what I didn't want to happen. Perfect. I tried snaking it back, the other cable back up, through and out, didn't work. So the way I see it, I have one shot. I'm gonna have all the wires tied to this cable. If I can pull it this way, I think I can then push the other wire out that way. Maybe. This is the only shot I got at this. If not, it's gonna get really difficult. So I'm just gonna take it nice and slow. Feeling a lot of resistance here. It's usually not good. Okay, we're still on. Come on, baby, don't pull off the other. Dang it! Oh. I can't get it to come up through this bend at all. It's sticking right in that bend. Oh. Dang it. All right, I have a thicker cable, and I've got the other side that did it. So what I had to do is took this metal piece with this tip at the end, and I had to kind of help it a little bit the way through. So I got that side done. So I think we can get this side done. All right, both ends, the wires are all the way through, so now I'm gonna have to get them out through the underneath. But that should be a lot easier, a lot easier. All right, they are temporarily wired up. I got the ground, like the harness to the truck is good. We've temporarily wired them to see if this works. Let's see. I'm gonna have to look at the footage to see if the brake lights work, but everything else seemed to have worked, so that's good. After reviewing the footage, if my lights are on, they're only running lights. No blinkers, no brake lights, just running lights, which is fine. I don't mind that because you can see my tail lights, so that's fine. When the lights are off, they're brake lights and turn signals, so that's more than likely what they'll always be. Could I correct it? Maybe. I don't know if these lights are set up to be all of them. I don't know, but I'm pretty happy with that setup. That'll definitely work for me. I'm happy with that. Let's finish these wiring and we'll be done. looks fantastic. I've come a long way in metalwork, I think, from back in the day. Welds are improving, not the greatest, but I think it looks great. The lighting thing kind of bothers me, the fact that it doesn't work perfect, but I'm pretty positive it's because of the lights that I bought, because I've wired up multiple trailers and had zero issues. So, but it's going to work exactly for what I need it for. I don't think I'll probably ever run this thing at night, and if I do, there'll at least be some form of light there. I got a couple of these anchor spots for tie downs, which is going to be very handy. I can't believe I painted it gray. Everything I do, I paint black. Can't believe I went gray, but I wanted something that would stand out from the truck so oncoming traffic can see it. If you're wondering, from the edge of the tailgate to this side of this extension, it's about 34 inches. So you gain almost 3 feet of extension off the back of your tailgate. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.